Hello, welcome to Shamanism, Metaphysics, and Grace. I'm Lauren Hubele, and I'm here interviewing astrologer Jyoti Wind. Jyoti, welcome.
Thank you, Lauren. Good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to be here with you, and I'm so looking forward to this report on particularly this new moon because you gave us a little insight into it on the last episode, and I'm looking forward to what more you'll share today.
Thank you. The new moon solar eclipse is this coming Saturday on October 14th. And for my time, Mountain Daylight Time, it's at 11:55. So basically, 11:55 a.m. I just want to make sure about this. Yes, a.m. just at noon. So wherever anybody is, they can just extrapolate that. And so it's the sun and moon, new cycle. And it has Mercury very close, and it has Pallas, the asteroid of intelligence, very close in there as well. And the sun and moon square Pluto. So what that means is that this is a new cycle of wanting balance, trying to find balance between different aspects of life. Can be home and family with work and career. It can be between self and other, what you'd like to see happen and with what other people want of you. And so with Pluto squaring that sun and moon, it gives a kind of, there can be some power struggles. There can be some places where other people want to do one thing and you want to do another. And so, there's that little bit of tug of war going on there. But basically, it's about finding balance. And with Mercury right in there, it also gives insight into self. More insight over this next month, let's say. And an eclipse triggers some things or sets some things off that within the next 3 to 6 months, they begin to manifest. A person might say, oh, I think it's time I looked at this or worked with that or, whatever. So it's not always the moment or the day of the eclipse that a person notices something, but within 3 to 6 months.
Jyoti, as I was hearing you say, power struggles and this quest for balance that we're after, might we have that internally as well?
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure. The macrocosm and the microcosm, the outer and the inner. I mean, it's all one and the same in a way.
Yeah. So as you say that, then we might see that in the world as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. That desire for balance and dealing with power structures and power situations and yeah, that tug of war.
Yeah. It looks
And
like
Mars has just entered Scorpio. In the It actually entered where I am. It actually entered last night, and it's so the 11th of October to I think it's the 24th of November. Yes, and Mars will be moving through Scorpio, and it's almost like mirroring the eclipse. I mean, Mars in Scorpio isn't really about a desire for balance and harmony. It's about, but it has that power struggle kind of energy to it sometimes. And it's about secrets revealed. It's about bringing up deep, um, uh, deeper issues that one is not usually consciously aware of, personally and collectively.
So let's talk about that a little bit because that's interesting. So issues that we might not be aware of. So are we talking about shadow sides of ourselves or?
shadow sides of ourselves, shadow sides of nations, shadow sides of cultures.
Hmm. Looks like we might be seeing a little bit of that already.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Last weekend, today we're Thursday during the week. Last weekend, Mars squared Pluto in the heavens, and that's discord. That's big skirmishes and explosions, and that's volatility.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting.
So globally, we can see some shades of that.
Hmm. So I want to just pick up on that theme though that you said with Mars and Scorpio, it somewhat mirrors what's going on with the new moon. So in the new moon, we're looking for this balance and insight in self. What would the mirror be of Mars and Scorpio? Helping.
The sun and moon square Pluto, and
Okay.
those power struggles, and Mars and Scorpio is kind of like pushing things up from the depth, and oh,
Okay.
I don't know if I want to see that or deal with that, or maybe these guys do wear the white hats, and maybe these other guys do wear the black hats. I mean, it's looking at that light and shadow
Hmm.
in any different realm. So the Mars and Scorpio, I feel like really reinforces the Sun Moon square Pluto of the new moon, and just keeps that theme going of flushing things to be mirrored, to look at within oneself, within one's relationships with other people, and the world's countries' relationships with each other. And there's a lot of macrocosms there.
Yeah. Yeah. What else is happening?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
As if that isn't enough.
Is there
Um,
something a little lighter that we could talk about?
yes, actually. Venus on the 21st.
Okay.
Um, it's a mixed bag, Lauren, like so many things are.
It
You
always
ask
is.
somebody, you ask somebody, how was your vacation? Well, it was great, but it was a mixed bag because there
Yeah.
were other things that might have been a struggle. So on the 21st of October, which is one of the dates I wanted to mention anyway, the sun is exactly squaring Pluto, but Venus is trining Jupiter, which is considered a fairly sweet aspect. The caution between Venus and Jupiter is always extravagance. Don't purchase something that 2 weeks later you're going to look at and go, what am I going to do with this? But it is a nice aspect as far as being able to express one's creativity, being able to see more of a direction in front of you of where you're heading. It lightens the load at the moment. It's a momentary thing. You'll probably feel it maybe a day or two before it's exact on the 21st, maybe for a day or two after. Things just kind of feel maybe okay. And then we're back to,
Business
what's
as
going
usual.
on. But the 24th, I want to mention, the sun is trining Saturn, and there's a sense of stability.
Okay.
There's a sense of things feeling more stabilized, not so erratic. I mean, October is a very powerful month because, as we will see down the road, there's another eclipse, a lunar full moon eclipse coming on the 28th, and that will trigger other things and different people in different ways. But I people are looking at a real desire for harmony and balance and during this whole time frame, but October is just a month of intensity.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking about with this new moon and all that it's bringing up. Do you have some thoughts about self-care for folks during that period and over the weekend when we're dealing with an eclipse?
um I would just, what occurred to me to say was to have some escape hatches.
Yeah.
You know, an hour or two that you can just take off by yourself, go walk in the woods, go smell some flowers, go, um, just have some time to yourself, some downtime, where you can just sit and breathe and do something that's especially meaningful to you. You know, it could be sitting and reading a good book that you're in the middle of, or it could be, picking up some colored pencils and doing some art. I, just even a walk in nature,
Mhm.
just sitting quiet in a room with the door shut. Sometimes that's all you've got access to in the middle of family and everything else that's happening. And so if you're visiting and you're out of town, and you're surrounded by people that have a different agenda than you, then just finding your own space, even, going and sitting in a cathedral or a church, or if you're visiting family, just taking a walk down the street and looking at the neighborhood, just being with yourself,
Mhm. Mhm.
you
Yeah,
know?
because I think we often forget that in these times, everyone's being influenced by the
Yes.
effects, which can make things feel pretty intense when we're around a lot of people.
Right. And remember that even though Mars is in Scorpio right now, that there's some deeper things that may surface for you, or deeper insights that you might have. Still, the eclipse takes 3 to 6 months usually to manifest itself. So it's not like Saturday, all of a sudden you're going to wake up and you're in the throes of whatever change this eclipse is bringing you. It'll probably show itself gradually, and you're able to say, okay, I'm getting ready for this. I see what's happening and I see my part in it and what I need to set in motion.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
for me personally, it seems like I'll get kind of a glimpse right around the eclipse of
Yeah.
what it would be, and then it kind of quiets down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's true of a lot of people. It really depends on how close to the bone you live.
Sure.
If you're kind of interested, like, not interested in, but more, uh, what's the word I want? Distracted by a lot of different things. You've got your hands in a bunch of different pies. Then it might take a couple of weeks to realize, oh, wait a minute, I need to look over here and do this at this point in time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it depends, it's a 21 Libra, and it depends on where 21 degrees of Libra falls in your chart, and whether it might not have much effect on you, other than just it's a new cycle, and other people around you might be going through deeper changes, and this one just doesn't have your name on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, in looking, is there one more aspect that you wanted to talk about?
No, no, that's pretty much the ones I wanted to cover.
Okay, so in looking at kind of an overall theme for these 2 weeks, I'm hearing this finding balance, but also this introspective. Um,
Introspective, and yet not Mercury.
okay.
Mercury's doing its thing right now. Not too much in the limelight. Not like a
Mhm.
retrograde or a catching up, or that's already happened. We won't have another one for several months. It's just this Mars, and Mars is, the planet of birth. It's the planet of action. It's the planet of manifestation. So, what's the deeper dream? What's the deeper energy that you want to bring into your life? So it has threads of that as well.
Okay. Okay. Great, Jyoti. Thank you.
Yeah, and enjoy the 21st,
Yeah.
when Venus is trining
Mark
Jupiter.
that date on your calendar, folks, because
Yeah,
we can
yes.
put our feet up and coast then.
Yeah, well, for the day,
For
and
the
and
day?
you know, it might be a good day to have a, you know, a lunch, or to have a group together, or you know, do something that feels a bit more expansive.
Sweet. Yeah, nice
Yes.
suggestion. Okay, great, Jyoti. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome, Lauren.